Welcome to the Tennis Shrinks, Tobias and Andy here. Today we will talk about the serve and the serve in the context of the Clear&Now performance system. Yeah, I'm looking forward. You have prepared some questions for me, and the main topic is, I told you what my main hypothesis will be, is there are absolutely no hacks when it comes to serving. So I'm really looking forward to your points and what you want to know about the Clear&Now performance system.
To the answers you have. So my first question would be, what makes a good server in your perspective?
We are right in the middle of the topic when it comes to there are no hacks. A good server is not a player who serves great. That's a misconception. A good server or a great server is a player who holds serve, no matter how his serve is. If you remember, Pecci Pericard served 250 kilometers an hour in, I think, Paris, or was it Wimbledon? Wimbledon. I don't know exactly anymore. But what did it help him? Nothing. Taylor Fritz scored. He made the point. So was obviously a great serve when it comes to one point, for example, speed, but he didn't make the point. So was it a great serve? No. And this is, I think, very important for the whole Clear&Now system. I have prepared some points. I think we will go with that, and then we will look for your questions also. Yeah, I think this will match. But this is, I think, great. A great server is always a server who holds serve. What do you think about that?
I mean, it makes sense in a way that the serve is not that the serve is always in a context. So it's not about the serve individually.
Das auf, I think. I think it's over. Wow. Das können wir dann eh schneiden.
Ja.
Oder wir lassen es, schauen wir mal.
So it does make sense that the serve is embedded in a context and not a single shot that makes the difference. But for me personally, in training, I used to go about it in a way that I just would serve and then try to improve the technique and whatnot and the shot itself instead of the context. So that makes sense that if you approach it from a different angle, it's more embedded in the context.
We can give you a big shout out to the tennis mentor. He just released a video about the serving, and I think all those videos are great. If you take Carousel from, I think it's just Carousel right now. It was My Tennis HQ before, and we have Intuitive Tennis, and there are so many great channels. But I think we could add something, and this is what the Clear&Now tennis system is. I think the most important point is match play in tennis is always pressure. It's always about pressure. And one of the most important things is we could say the server serves pressure.
To the opponent, you mean?
Yeah. Because that is your first goal, that if you serve, you want to be the first one who creates problems. How do you create a problem? To put your opponent under pressure. And tennis is always about pressure. It's just about pressure. A match play, if you're just hitting with a partner, you don't have to care about the Clear&Now performance system. But the Clear&Now performance system is when you have pressure, and tennis is structured from the first point to the last point to create a certain amount of pressure so that you really have to be on your sharpest day to beat the opponent. I think this is very important. Match play is pressure, and the server serves pressure. That is the first point, I think, that's really important to understand the importance of the serve.
So I structure my point in a way that I create pressure with the first ball in a way. So the serve is individually a very important shot, but then it plays out in different scenarios throughout the point throughout the service game.
That's exactly what it is, because I have here the next point is what you already asked me. You are a great server if you are able to hold serve. If you hold serve 90% of the times, which is what Yannick Sinner did, or what Andy Roddick and all the other great servers did, hold service 90% of the times. Yeah. If you are able to hold serve, you are a great server. They have great serves, yeah, because the return is equally as important. But in this episode, we will focus on the serve, yeah, and because you are the first one who is able to serve pressure with your serve. So this is why the focus is on the serve, and the more serves you hold, the higher your win percentage will get. You can be the shittiest return player of all time. If you are able to hold all your serves, you will be in tiebreak. So you have to be a good returner as well, but being able to hold serve is crucial for everything. And in my opinion, it gets underestimated on the lower level player levels. The better your serve is and the more serve you can hold, the easier the game gets. Also on the lower levels. Why should it be different there?
So it's quite a big part of the game.
It's one of the most important. If you remember, I think Rafael Nadal once said he fears about tennis because one day there might be a 2-meter serve bot who is just serving so overwhelmingly that you can't stop him. You don't have to be a great all-around tennis player to beat another player in tennis. If you have a great serve and a great response, your second shot, the third shot in the point, you can do a lot of damage without being a great tennis player. That's crazy, but that's how it is. Huh? So these are some points that are important. And there's one more thing that I would like to stress. The server serves pressure, but the server is under constant pressure. From the first point on, when you're serving, you are under a lot of pressure because there are no free points for the server. Never. There is no free point for the server from the first serve on. I think this is also very important to see. There is no free point for a server.
Even if I'm up, let's say 5-0, and I feel great, and I feel like my opponent's not that good, don't I get a free serve in a way?
No. Why?
Because the value, let's say, of the point or the consequences of me losing a point in that scenario is not that high.
And that's not clear in now tennis. You always want to go for the next point no matter what. And the next point is, in addition to that, as a server, you have to be able to serve rows. You have to make points in a rows anytime, no matter what the stand is in the game, in a point, in a match, in a set, whatever. You have to be able to make the next point. You can't afford to go like, oh, yeah, maybe not. Because maybe in one game, it doesn't really matter because it's, I don't know, 5-0 and your opponent is weak. But in the next game, you will be 4-4 and you cannot be in that state of mind. And I think what is crucial is to not make any distinctions. Go for the next point. Point. That's the thing. Because as the server, and I think this is what happened in Paris with Alcaraz. He was down 0-40, and it was championship points. He scored 5 in a row. As the server, you have to be able to score 5 in a row. Otherwise, you can't come back from 0-40. You have to be able to score in rows. So you cannot afford to let 1 point from your serve go. Every point is a training, is a focus, is a practice for your focus. So to me, I think it stresses the importance of the serve. And if you know that you're constantly under pressure, you don't have to feel the pressure anymore, because it doesn't make a difference.
So the intentions, whether or not the score is in my favor or the favor of the opponent, my intentions are the same for each point.
For each point.
And for each serve I make, no matter the score.
No matter the score.
Okay.
No matter the score. If you take Wimbledon, Carlos Alcaraz made the first set 6-4. We could, and I hope we will someday, watch at my charts that I have drawn. And what happened next? If you take it, it was 40-40. Sinner had a double fault. The next point was such an unbelievable point. At first, when I thought about it, oh, he got broken, he was broken twice, must have been bad. Do you remember the last point of the first set?
Not clear now, but
Sinner played a great forehand cross to Alcaraz's side. Alcaraz hit an unbelievable cross, even further out, really taking Sinner out of the court, out of the stadium almost. What did Sinner do? I have chills. He hit a phenomenal down the line forehand. Really, if you take it, here's the court, right in the corner. 98% of the players won't even reach that ball. Carlos defended that ball back. Sinner had no chance. No chance. My point is, at first I thought, oh, maybe he was weak or something like that. He wasn't weak. That was such an amazing down the line shot. After serving a double fault. So no, it was not a weak game. But the next game, Carlos was broken. He served, I don't know exactly, but it was 0-40 or 15-40. He lost his serve immediately the next game.
Because he lost his intention on the serve, maybe, or his focus?
It's possible. If you hit such an amazing shot, you win the first set, you are pumped. You really have to work to be focused again. And you can be a little bit too confident. And if you then score maybe a double fault or something, it breaks you. It breaks your focus. So you can't allow yourself as the server to let go. I think this is so crucial to really be clear. And now when you serve, and if you look at if you look closely at the charts, the server in this game almost in more than 90% of the times, the server made the first point.
What does that say about the...
If the server hadn't made the first point in the game, he struggled throughout the game. In almost all cases, it's not every time, but when the server doesn't make the first point, there is a possibility that he will struggle because he's under pressure from the first point. Because if the opponent makes 0-30, the opponent has checked the first box. You have to score in a game twice. You have to make 2 in a row to be able to win the game. So 0-30, you have checked the first box. So this is very underestimated. And today we are talking mainly about the serve, but the Clear&Now Tennis System is a comprehensive system which tells you all this, how this hypothesis works, and why you sometimes are suddenly feeling that you're under pressure, but the pressure built up and you just didn't recognize it. And the serve is so crucial for it. Do you know what happened in the third set in the game, Yannick against Carlos?
In Wimbledon?
Yeah.
I only remember that the serve percentage of Sinner went up throughout the game, and that probably had a big impact on the scoring.
But do you know what happened in the first game of the third set?
No, really, no.
Carlos struggled. He almost got broken. He I don't know, got broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, got broken in the first game of the set. Do you know which game he finally got broken?
Maybe not the first one. The last
4-4. So he got broken in the second set in the first game, struggled the first game of the third set, and got broken at 4-4. Those are pressure points.
So maybe that's the key, or the like traps for the focus and for the intentions on serving when there's a big break in between and you let go a little of the emotions and the build up from the set before, and maybe also the trap with 4-4 is that now the set maybe comes to an end and then the pressure builds up again, and now I lose my intentions again, and okay, so the system, the Clear&Now performance system really shows us that from the first point on, there is no free point
for the server.
And that the different scenarios on the court impact our focus, and our goal would be to get our focus straight and the intentions right for each and every serve, no matter the score.
No matter the score. And I think if we come to training a little bit, this is very important. We will have another video about the 5 main principles of the Clear&Now Tennis System, which is part of the Clear&Now Performance System. And the 5th principle is focus your practice to practice your focus. And there is a great video from Andre Agassi where he says, tennis is problem solving. And I think for training, it's very important to understand what you're doing and which problem you are trying to solve. If we take a serve is a structure that consists of many problems. What is the first problem you have to solve in tennis?
Put the ball in play.
Yes. And it has to be over the net and into a certain field.
Okay, yeah.
If you fail to solve that first problem, the point doesn't even start. It doesn't make sense to practice strokes if you don't get that ball in. If you want to do match play, doesn't make any sense. No sense at all. Yeah? So the first problem you have to solve is you have to get that ball in, over the net, and into a certain area. But this is just the first problem, and this is what we will show afterwards in a separate video where it's more about the technique and everything. This is about technique, effect, and the embodiment. So we have just to care about the court and the ball. Not even yet about the opponent. The opponent doesn't matter if you are not able to hit the ball over the net. It doesn't matter. That opponent is absolutely irrelevant. So the first problem is just about you, the ball, and the court. So your practice will be about tennis, about the technique, and the next is the effect, because you can do the variation with the spin, you can do the variation with the consistency. So there's the acronym CASE, also from the tennis mentor, from a serve video from him. It's consistency. So how often do you get that ball into that space? This is very important. The next thing is, how accurate are you? I want to go there. How accurate can you be? The next thing is, can I differ spin? How high over the net? How low over the net? And the effect I can give the ball. Can I hit a strong ball? So this is the next. Still, it's not really about the opponent. And I will show you why in the next things. But we are still on one side, because with the technique and the effect you are trying to create, the case, there is the embodiment of the shot. You have to breathe. You have to have a certain rhythm. So also rhythm, breathing, and other factors are factors that you should work on. But, and there is now one big thing: focus your practice to practice your focus. Practice is always focus practice. And if you focus on your technique, you create an inner focus. You focus on your leg, you focus on your toes, you are more here with your focus. There's a great work from Gabriele Wulff, German scientist, Attention and Motor Skills, great book. And she shows that the center of attention is really important for the outcome. So if you are working on technique, there is a high probability that your focus will be more on your body, internal focus. If you go for the effect, great video from Tennis Mentor again, the focus should be more on the outside, because you want to know if your shot really did what you wanted it to do. So the focus is a little bit more on the effect of everything. If you go for the embodiment, you have to focus on your rhythm, maybe your whole body, your breathing. So the focus is, again, somewhere different. And now there's the tricky thing. Nothing that you do there will help you in the game.
Really?
Nothing. That is, again, a hypothesis from the Clear&Now performance or the tennis system. Nothing will help you in a game.
How is that possible?
We are still missing crucial variables, because now the next part of the problem begins, the opponent. And when the opponent comes in, you have to think about tactics. So let's say you are a great server down the line. Are you really a great server down the line? Or is it also important if you are playing a lefty or a righty?
Yeah.
You can be a great server down the line, but it makes a difference which opponent you're facing. So you cannot even say, oh, I'm such a great server down the line. Because it differs which opponent you're facing. And it makes a difference if you are hitting a forehand down the line or a backhand down the line. You will get different looks from what you're getting back. So you cannot even say this. And that's why it's so important that you work on technique, you work on effect, and then you need a different focus. All of that is absolutely irrelevant when it comes to match play. You don't have the time. If there was a hack for that, Jannik Sinner wouldn't have had 50% first serves in Roland Garros in one game. I mean, it's Jannik Sinner. So there is absolutely no hack if it doesn't work. Yeah, you can. The one hack is you have to constantly work and practice your serve. That's the one hack there is. Yeah? You really have to work consequently every practice on your serve, every practice. There shouldn't be any practice without any form of serve practice. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense from all of what the Clear&Now Tennis System says. And so we have technique, we have effect, we have embodiment. On the one side, which is great, you can do it. And then we have on the other side, we have tactics, and we have the impact, and you have to be ready for the return. Because this is what you want. You want to impact the opponent in a way that he doesn't get the ball. That's an ace. He gets the ball, but he doesn't get it back. Forced error. He gets the ball and he gives you a weak ball. Still great. He gets the ball and gives you a neutral ball. Also okay. The only thing you don't want, but you can't avoid sometimes, is he hits a shot that turns into an offensive shot against you. So this is the main goal. You want to impact your opponent so that one of the four first options comes out of your serve. And how you do that is your responsibility to find out. Especially at lower levels, some players, especially the soccer players, they sometimes are great returners because of their reflex and their ability to anticipate, and they block the ball back high into the court. Not a sharp, not offensive. But if you don't know how to answer that, you are in trouble. So he is a great reserve, and you are not that great of a server. I'm talking about that because I always thought back then that I'm a pretty good server. And I still lost my serves quite frequently. And it was not because of my serves. It was because I did not see early enough that I would hurt my opponent more with slow-paced serves. They can't do anything with that. With a high-paced serve, they just have to block sometimes. But with a slow serve that they really have to adjust and do something with, many players struggle in my category. So there is no time for you to think about, well, how is my hand going, or it's not the time anymore. Yeah? So in a game, these parts should be automatic, and maybe in a game break or something later on, maybe a little bit adjustments. But the main part has to be, you have to be on the tactics and how does it impact my opponent? Because if you constantly don't see, you hit wide from the ad side, you hit the serve wide, and you don't see that your opponent is out of placement. What good is your serve for? If your opponent is out of placement, there's a high chance that you should go to the net. But if you don't see it, what is your serve good for? Yeah. So there is no time in a game when it's about pressure to really think about all the other stuff.
Think about.
Yeah. Because the game is too complex. We talked about the first problem is to get the ball into the field. Second problem is the opponent. But tennis is a multi-structured problem-solving test for you. We talk about it later on, but that's part of the Clear&Now Tennis System. You have to solve many problems because the serve at 0-0 is not the same serve with at 4-4, 0-40. It is not the same serve.
Why not?
Because you have more pressure. You feel more pressure. You are in the pressure trap. Yeah? And maybe it's the second serve. The second serve at 4-4, 0-40 can be a little bit different. Yeah? And if you then, I have to have my feet there, or you're missing all the other things. It's not possible to go there. You have to automate your skills that you still what is my placement, what is the likelihood of the next shot, bam, gamer.
So the idea is that I practice the effect, the technique, and the embodiment beforehand. Try to mostly make everything automatic in a way. Then really skip that part in the match. Really don't think about it that much, and just focus on how I place the ball and how I can create the biggest problem for the opponent. So having a look, how does he respond to my serve when I serve out wide, when I serve down the middle, when I serve slow, kick, slice, and I do every variation maybe, and then I analyze the effect I have and the opportunities I get to create even more problems for the opponent.
Definitely.
That's the
Definitely.
the outward focus and not the inward focus in comparison to that.
Every serve is a test of hypotheses. It sounds weird, yeah, and it sounds technical, but with every serve that you give your opponent, with every look you give your opponent, you're testing, can you bring it back? And if you bring it back, how? And if you can't bring it back, I will torture you with that. That is what you are supposed to do. Yeah. So, and you have to see it, otherwise you're losing so much pressure points on your opponent. Doesn't make sense. You're focused on the rallying, but this is from 6 or 7 shots, so you're missing many shots before. And this is what's have to come into play. So if you are not working on seeing the impact, being ready for ball 2, there's a high likelihood that your practice will make your serve better, but not in pressure situations. So in some serves, it will help you and you have the feeling, oh, I'm on the right way. But for the whole situation of your serve games, it won't help you.
Okay. Well.
And this is, I think, a very, very important new approach, or a very important approach to the game. I'm just looking on my sheet if there is anything. Hello, I would like to say. Yeah, I think one thing I still would like to mention, I saw on your questions, the first serve, second serve, how do you practice it?
How is it different? So how do I train first and second serve? Is it a different approach, or?
What would you say from what you heard?
I mean, for me, the first serve could be a new hypothesis I test with my serving, and maybe I create a different problem. And for a second serve, it should be definitely a consistent one, because I want to get the ball in play and solve the first problem I have as a server. So trying to get the ball in play.
But you still want to impact.
But I still want to impact. I still want to have a consistent serve that doesn't put me in defense and gives the opponent a chance to create a problem for me in this case.
Yeah, and I think that is very important to understand. The second serve should not be a safe serve. You still want to create problems because you don't want to be the one that's under pressure. So I think the practice for the serve should be for the second serve, and build your serve from scratch. So you have a very great second serve. And from that, a great second serve is the serve that you can do with the most accuracy, with the best spin, with the best effect, but with also the greatest consistency. So at the present moment.
My main priority is consistency, but also the other points.
And all the other points as well.
Okay.
And from that on, you try to find a serve that is great and that you can do very consistently. And from that on, you build your first serve. what's the problem to have a great second serve? There is no problem to have a great second serve. So why focus on a first serve first as a hobby player or later on, if you could have a great second serve that helps you in every way, and from that on you can also improve again. Because what's the difference from the first serve to the second serve? Should it be a difference from the speed that you take? How you go with the power?
If it helps my consistency, maybe.
What do you see with most hobby players? They have a first serve like, and the second serve will be like this. It's a different serve. It shouldn't, in my opinion, it shouldn't be a different serve from the movement. It's just changing the pattern from the effect. With which accuracy am I aiming for? Which spin am I aiming for? Which effect do I wanna? And there, from these parameters, you're able to slide up and down to get your consistency right. You know what I mean?
So you keep to train your serve, you start by implementing a serve that you have a high consistency on, and keeping that standard, you try to improve the other different things like the effect, spin, the accuracy, the speed maybe, but never sacrificing the consistency. And then for the first serve, you can go and take a little bit more risk and reduce the consistency for a little more effect, but still keeping the training for the serve high in consistency.
This is what I think Yannick does. This is, I think, exactly what Yannick is doing. Not maybe the I'm going just for I don't differ between first and second serves. The second serve of Yannick is such a great weapon. He is able to hold points with that serve mostly all the times. This is just awesome. Yeah. And then he still could improve his first serve. How great is that? So he's able to hold serves with just the second serve. He showed it in the competitions. How great is that? So that's a different approach to the game. You have to sacrifice and not go for, I am a big server, I am doing that. No, I will kill you with my second serve if I have to. And from that on, I can get even better. Yeah, you really can go for big serves if you know, I am a great server with my second as well. Right? So this is part of that. So for me, this is the most important thing. I don't differ between first and second serve. My second serve is in my head my first serve, which I can make even better for the first serve.
Okay, yeah.
I think this was also important for me. Yeah, these were the most important points. What do you think about that? Do you have another question that we didn't mention so far?
No, I think I have a good idea about how the Clear&Now performance system really sees serving. And I think it helps to restructure the training and to approach it a bit more match realistic in a way.
And I think there was also the question when to train or something like that. I think it's important to not say old training, new training, better training, worse training, but to go with a balanced training that is periodized periodically, because you know when your competitions will be your main competitions, so that in one time of the season you go more for the details, more for that, more for the automation. In one part of the season you go more for that, and some practices is where you just focus on your practice. on your serving. The whole practice is just like I did it with one of my players, Clemens, and it was like a yoga lesson.
In what way?
It's all about focusing. Serving is about getting your focus again. And that's what he told me after the practice. You know, it really feels like yoga. I really feel relaxed. So a serve practice should be relaxing practice.
But how is that consistent with the pressure you get in the match?
You have to be able to relax during pressure. Relaxation doesn't mean all loose, but to have the right amount of tonus. That you still have to be able to, you lose power with too much muscle strength or muscle grip. So even under the hardest circumstances, you have to be able to have a good grip. And that's why you should treat every serve the same. You have to practice it 1,000 times to be able to go to Wimbledon and serve out your last 3 games. This is what Jannik did. He served out all 3 games, all 3 sets that he won. You have to take every serve seriously. If you are not able to do it with every opponent, you will not be able to do it in the highest stakes. With maybe sometimes, but this is luck. If you can do it, if I wake you up 3 o'clock in the morning and you can do it, there's a high chance that you will be able to do it later. This is where you want to come with your first and second serve. And from that on, your percentage will rise, how many serves you hold. This will increase your win percentage. This will increase the pressure on your opponent. And this will make room free for your returns. Well, so this is our first serve for the serve. So I think we should go on the court right now if there's no further question from you.
No, that's quite a good explanation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And we see you on the court.